It was said by the sages that by wishing one could taste in the manna anything desired, whether beef, fruit, or grain. In other words, there was something both welcoming and familiar in the manna, even though it was the bread of angels. God has always accommodated himself to our limitations. When Moses asked to see his glory, as God moved past, he covered Moses' eyes with his hand, an act of love. And so God comes to earth, and he's not a fearsome angel or a brilliant light. He's a man, a human being like us, subject to hunger and tiredness. If we saw God, we would run for cover. But if we saw Jesus, we would want to touch him. Think of that. That's a miracle of God's love. But back to the manna. The Israelites called it man, the Egyptian word for what? That's funny. They ate the food and they looked at one another and said, "Manhu? What is it?" There was something radically strange about the manna. Some lines of teaching make Jesus out to be a good pal, one of us, and being in his presence is a constant restful pleasure. But that's not what the disciples found, nor the people who lived at that time. There were occasions when they were afraid to ask him a question. Mark 9:32. There was a time when his teaching offended so many people that many left him. John 6:67. When Peter presumed to advise Jesus to not go to the cross, Jesus abruptly rebuked Satan for the suggestion. Matthew 16:23. No, it wasn't always comfortable being with Jesus. Like the manna, we may find ourselves saying, "What is it? What did he say?" It may be impossible to resist making Jesus in our own image to one degree or another, but at least we can be aware of our tendency. We would all agree that King David knew God as well as anyone on the planet, yet when God promised him an eternal dynasty, a throne and a kingdom in 2 Samuel chapter 7, David sat down quietly in a room by himself and said, "Is this your usual way of dealing with men?" He could have been saying, "Man who? What is it? What did you say?" Even David was shocked. He was still on the adventure. Am I?